Hello and welcome to your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week of October 27th, 2014. Now this week's a special week because it is Halloween, and we will be drawing an extra card at the end of our standard 3-card reading, just for that, to see what the energy is like and what they have for us. Because Halloween, regardless of the holiday as we celebrate it, it's more about the phase our planet's in energetically, and it is a heightened time. The energy is heightened, the veil is at its thinnest. So I do like to do a little special thing just for Halloween. So look for that after the 3-card reading. So our first card, to get us started for the first half of the work week, we see 4 of Air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making decisions. Meditation may provide answers. A huge push in the energetic field, an energetic world right now, I should say. Really reminding us that meditation is so vital for our personal growth and expansion. It keeps coming up time after time in these weekly readings and in personal readings I'm doing for people. They really can't stress enough the point of finding that time to just sit back, recenter yourself, and turn inward with meditation or meditative practices. It doesn't have to be the traditional how we envision meditation. People who knit or paint, that's a very meditative practice for them. So whatever you can do, whatever resonates with you as a meditative exercise, take some time each day for yourself. I mean, do it out of the desire for your own expansion, for your own well-being, I want to say. To find that time, especially in the beginning of this week as we're coming into this raised energy, coming up the end of the week, to find that time to sit, center yourself, and also with that, they're giving me balance. They're saying find that balance of, giving some time and taking some time for yourself amongst all your other responsibilities. But the meditation is the key here. Take the time to meditate, center yourself, focus on what you're trying to manifest in your reality, focus on your expansion and your growth as a divine being, and focus on your own self, your healing, what's needed for you at this time, what's appropriate for you at this time. And that's really where we're moving through, kind of preparing you for this heightened energy later in the week. Moving through the second half of the week, which will be inclusive, catching the beginning of that energy spike at the weekend, we see 9 of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. In short, this card resonates with me as you are your own worst enemy. Your word creates your reality. So when we worry is prayer for something we don't want. When it comes to, in manifestation terms, whatever our focus is on, whatever our attention is placed upon, is what we manifest into our reality. So when you worry over things you have no control over, you are praying almost, and this sounds a little odd for some people. This may be like, what are you talking about? But the idea, the whole concept behind the law of attraction and manifestation is what you put into words and what you focus on mentally and emotionally is what you will manifest. That's the whole concept of like attracts like. Being in that place and resonating in that place of lack or resonating in that place of failure only breeds failure. So this card isn't a card saying that bad things are going to happen to you. This card is letting you know, is bringing your attention, your awareness into the state of you're in a place where you are worrying about something, you're expecting the worst to happen. You're, as they say, waiting for the other shoe to drop. In doing that, you are manifesting that. So be conscious as this energy is really ramping up this week. Be real conscious and careful about the wording you use and the level of your attitude as far as where you are vibrationally. Try to keep it very high and very positive. Your word manifests your reality. So this card, which is kind of like just a flag about, the worry and the stress and the losing sleep over, usually it's things we have no real control over, worry is a prayer for what you don't want. So just something to keep in mind as you're moving into this heightened energy coming into this weekend. Keep your thoughts positive, keep upbeat, if there's challenges or obstructions, just keep pressing forward. Don't let them get you down, because with the heightened energy, things will happen very quickly for you, and that includes manifesting things you don't want. So up to now, we've had air cards. Air are your thoughts and how they're affecting you, how they're playing into your actions. Now we're getting into our final card here is Four of Earth, which is the materialistic world. And the Four of Earth reads, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, making good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. And really what this card is bringing us to, and now I understand why they gave me that balance in the beginning of the week, is about finding your balance. It goes hand in hand with the worry. This whole reading kind of just is all one forecast, I think, for the entire week. It's about finding that balance. Being too frivolous or too cautious, you're being that way because of the worry you have about your finances. Now is the time to make good business decisions if you're in business, and that doesn't always mean business as in work. That could just simply be about something you need to purchase or spend money on. And don't be afraid to help somebody out if there's somebody less fortunate, no matter how small the gesture. Don't let your worries and concerns of your financial being hold you back from doing something generous or humanitarian for someone you know, or even someone you don't know that you see. They're telling you it's okay. In finding that balance and getting in touch with that centeredness that lets you connect to your higher self, you will be in a higher resonance, and with that you can manifest things more easily. I don't know why this week's telling me a lot of manifestation. Typically it's because the energy is going to be so much higher this week. Manifesting will be a lot easier for you. So, I mean, it's all good stuff. Sometimes readings like this come across with people as being negative. It's not that it's negative. These are just more like road signs to let you know to be careful in the coming length of highway, because there's falling rocks, or there's this, or there's that. These are just road signs reminding us to stay positive, to stay centered, to turn inward for our answers, and really ride this wave of energy and benefit from it. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it put you in a state to where you're frazzled, because that's when we manifest things we don't want, is how I'll phrase that. So good reading. Now what I like to do now is to move into and draw a card specifically based on, this would be literally for Thursday night through to Saturday morning, and this is a separate reading from our weekly forecast. This is just about that heightened energy period. Now in the past I've tried to do a special reading just for Halloween, or any specific day like the equinox or whatever, when the energy is particularly high at that point in time. For today's special Halloween card, we're going to be drawing a major arcana card based on the date itself. The date itself holds frequency, and if you numerically break down the October 31st, 2014, we end up with the number 12, which in classic numerology would continue to break down to 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. For the sake of drawing a major arcana card, I don't break it down anywhere further than I have to, and once it falls within the cards of the major arcana. So for this reading, our card is 12, which is Major Arcana, Awakening, Archangel Gabriel or Gabriel, depending on how you look at the energy. And this card in traditional tarot is the Hanged Man, and all that means is getting a new perspective. So the card reads, look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Yeah. The feeling I'm getting from this card, and it's kind of like they don't really want to deliver a long, involved message with this, but they're just giving me like the point to make is that this is a great time of awakening. This whole year has been a wonderful time for awakening. And what it is they're really conveying right now in this heightened energy is to maybe change the way you're looking at things in such a way that it's going to make the transition to be an activated being a little easier on you. A lot of this has to do with your perceived, and this is another message I've been delivering to a ton of people, is your perceived outcome If it doesn't look like what you imagined it would look like, it causes some disarray or a setback for you, or it makes you feel like it's not how it should be. And we have to be very cautious about that. We have to look at these things from a different perspective. Don't define the outcome, and just embrace however it comes is how it's supposed to be. Embrace the divine timing and divine order of it, and just be your authentic self. Being an activated being, being an awakened being, doesn't mean you have to dress a certain way, or eat a certain food, or speak in a certain manner, or carry yourself like all the other 20 people you see on TV do it. Be your authentic self. Be who you truly are, because that's exactly what it's supposed to look like for you. So that's it. It wasn't maybe a mind-blowing message for the heightened energy of that Thursday night through Saturday morning, but I think it's an important message to be your authentic self and allow, say yes to whatever the plan is, and let it unfold without having a set definition of what it's to look like. And this will help you in all aspects of your spirituality, in your manifestation, in your awakening, in your call to service, in all aspects of it. Just allowing without expectation or definition will make everything go much, much simpler. So that'll wrap up one more week's readings for us here at Advanced Angel Cards. Again, you can always reach out to me for readings, bookings, or just questions at Daniel at AdvancedAngelCards.com, the website AdvancedAngelCards.com, also the AngelicCollective.com, and on the Google Voice Angel Hotline 747-444-1022. I also would remind you to check out my our other readings. Eileen and Mandy do the weekly pendulum reading over on the YouTube channel Ragdoll Ralphie. That's Ragdoll, R-A-G-D-O-L-L, Ralphie, R-A-L-P-H-I-E, all one word, for your weekly pendulum forecasts from Mandy and Eileen of Advanced Angel Cards. Thanks again for listening. I wish you all a blessed time this week in the heightened energy to really settle in and harvest that energy without letting it overloading your circuits or without letting it get you frazzled. Thank you again, and have a blessed week.